guys, I am back again, and this time I unearthed, whatever, a journal entry, and I had a little series going on in which I read journal entries from my personal journal and then journal journal entries from school. So this is one from school, and I thought it was interesting. I did not pre-read it before recording this, so I haven't looked at this since the date I wrote it, which was October 11th, 2010. And yeah, so this was for my English class. So let's see what I had to say. Honesty is the best policy, or is it? Honesty is the act of being truthful. Some people are in some cases, some aren't at all, some cannot be in particular situations. Personally, being honest is the best way to go, I guess, and the best thing to do. That way, you don't fear anything or hide anything, nor hide anything. My writing has improved ever since I wrote this, I promise. People are honest sometimes for many reasons. It could be because if you don't say the truth, there might not be a way out of a problem, or it could lead to confusion. Other times, it is because the person has an unstable conscience if they are dishonest. That happens to me all the time. Personally, in most instances, I'm honest. The few occasions I'm not is for a real good cause. Is there such thing? To prevent endangering myself or somebody else. Oh, okay. I answered it. Had I read further, I would have answered my own question. So, anyways, am I frozen? I'm frozen. Anyways, um, sometimes you simply can't be honest. It could be because a wrong person is asking the wrong question, or because it is not convenient for the person to right away. However, the person still has a right to know the truth. Personally, when I am not honest, sooner or later I go back to the person to clarify myself and give them a reason or everything applicable as to why I did it. There are times in which you truly can't say things the way they are, but you must have a good judgment to determine what you can say. I don't know if I'm idiotic or if I just or if I had a point, but I feel like I remember my point back then, but I'm not seeing it right now. Overall, honesty is most preferable and the healthy thing to do, except when you come across a situation that demands the opposite. When you're being dishonest, it won't leave your mind, and in the end, you might give it up. But if you're sure about what you're doing while being dishonest, not causing any harm, I'm not encouraging it, but go for it. That's interesting. This does not sound like something I would say presently. I guess I said this because I mean, I was still growing up. I didn't have a lot of experience in life. I just didn't know any better. But nowadays, if I don't want to tell someone something, I just go ahead and tell them I don't want to talk about it. But if it's a complete stranger and they're asking me a question that I'm just not comfortable answering, I may tell a little lie here and there because I just want to test people's reactions and also to have fun in general. But I promise that I don't make that a habit. But at the same time, people are nosy and you'll come to learn that. Some people just don't have the right intentions, and because you don't have a true way of figuring out who that person is and when that's happening, then if you don't want to take the risk, then that's when you want to say, your little white lie here and there. But if it's people who I know, people who I see every day, and people who I know trust me, I am going to make sure that I always tell them the truth. And for me, it's not hard to tell the truth when it's something that I just regularly practice, you know? So if I were to advise my teenage self, when I wrote this, I would say, girl, bye. You have a little longer to live. You have a point, but you're not seeing the whole picture. So at least I'm glad that I said that. Honestly, when you say a lie, you have to remember the lie and keep building up on it. And then eventually, the truth will come out because you will mess up at some point. So, how about if you just say the truth immediately, and that way you don't have to stress yourself out remembering this stuff and then possibly the wrong thing coming out at the wrong time? Just say the truth, and that way you make yourself a big favor and people still trust you. And for me, that's important. All right, guys, what do you think? If you were to advise my teenage self from what I just read to you, what would you say? What would you tell me? And just overall, do you agree or disagree with my current mindset, which is no matter what, tell the truth. But it's okay to deceive a person or two when you're out in public and you aren't going to see this person again, probably. Now, if the person is asking me for some genuine, like, for a genuine recommendation and they're a stranger, I'll help them out. Like, if they ask me, if I order something and they ask me, how is it? And I say, I was not very impressed by it, then, I won't lie to them about it. But, but I'll tell them, this is my personal taste. Just because I didn't like something doesn't mean that it's um, completely unconsumable. You may find out that you like it. So, but yeah, guys, it kind of goes back to me and the video I made. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago about people when they ask me about what I do to my appearance or something, and then I'm like, you need to understand that just because something works for me doesn't mean that it'll give you the same result. So that's why I just like to be completely honest about things. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to my frozen self, and I'll see you soon.